This is a quick video about Rowan Williams' utterances on Sharia law. Rowan Williams, for those who don't know, is the Archbishop of Canterbury in the Anglican Church, and he has proposed that we should allow Sharia law to be implemented within parts of our society, notably, of course, the Islamic sections of our society, in order to make Muslims feel more at home within our society. He has even gone so far as to state that this would be a development that is in the long run going to be inevitable. This is incredible. This statement has just gobsmacked me, to be perfectly honest with you. To me, it is most probably the most mealy-mouthed travesty of religious tolerance that I've ever had the misfortune to come across. It's that bad. And I'll explain why I think his proposal or his idea is so unacceptable and detrimental to society. You see, society runs by law. The laws of society are designed to increase the efficiency of the society, to make the society run smoothly, and to make it a place where all the members of society can interact with each other on an equal footing. Just laws are intended to ensure that people within society are on an equal footing when they're dealing with each other through the courts or whatever. So at the very, very least, it makes perfect sense that there should only be one set of laws to apply to the whole of society. So even from that perspective, allowing Sharia law to be implemented, to be applied to part of our society, is an unbelievable proposition. He cannot be serious. It doesn't matter that it might be something that only Muslims would apply within the Muslim community, because what it will effectively do is segregate the Islamic part of society away from the rest of society. And that can never, under any circumstances, be a good thing. Muslims, just like anybody else in society, should be able to integrate with the rest of society and deal with everybody in society on an equal footing. If they cannot do that, they have to look within themselves, within their own subgroup, their own subculture, in order to see what is wrong within there that makes them have to stand away from the rest of society. They cannot expect us to adopt laws that will allow them to segregate even further. So then, the only other alternative is to have Sharia law applied to the fullness of society, to all of society. Maybe that is what Muslims want. Maybe Muslims want us to accept Sharia law to be applied to all of us, Muslims as well as non-Muslims. Now, of course, a lot of people have issues with Sharia law, and I could go there, but I won't. I'm going to just go back to first principles. Somebody wants a change to the law. Now, Muslims will have to realize that if they want to propose a change to the law, it is utterly pointless for them to make claims along the lines of that those laws were inspired by God, by Allah. Because whether they like it or not, we, as in the rest of society, do not share their belief in Allah. And we will therefore not, under any circumstances, accept the authority of Allah. And if that insults a Muslim watching this video, for example, I'm sorry for it, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. We will not accept the authority of your God, under any circumstances. So then, if Muslims want us to adopt Sharia law, What they're going to have to do is very simple. They're going to have to look at this law, and they're going to have to reconstruct the law from first principles based on the secular norms and values of our society. If they can explain and justify the change to a Sharia law based on secular principles, then they stand a chance of changing the law. Even then, of course, their proposals have to run through government, so they will need to be able to not only reconstruct their laws that way, but also to present arguments supporting them that will convince us of the validity of the change. Can they do that? If they can, then they stand a good chance of having Sharia law implemented in our society. And if that's the case, then we can't even complain, because if they have convinced us of the justness of these laws, then we should happily accept them. Is there any chance of that happening? Not on your Nelly. But that's my personal opinion.